Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Always down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. It's really hot here today, and I have my ice. Oh, ice in my cup and popcorn in the bowl that I just made hot off the stove. And I have my special favorite seasoning, salt and vinegar. Sorry. That was gross. And then we're watching a crazy TPO. Oh, and I gotta turn the fan down. Sorry. I have to leave it on a little bit, but I'm turning it down. Anyways, okay. We should get. Oh, and I have a Coke. I've been waiting all day for this. Also, Jim, I read your story in Discord. That's a crazy story. Anyways, okay. So, without further ado, you know what I'm doing. Being hot, more ways than one. Drinking my Coke. I'm gonna put it in ice though because it'll really warm up fast here. And then this TPO. So you saw the thumbnail. You've been warned. It's a fucking weird one. Washington is so weird. Just so weird. Anyways, let's do it. Oh yeah, for a little while, she sits there like this, and they pray.
I'm just gonna make a copy and then just hand that to you, and then you're out. Wait, ran out of paper. Okay. Now it's better.
Come on, Judge. Get going. Oh yeah. I also have a joint. Oh my gosh, it's really hot without that fan on high blast. What is the temperature here today, Paisley? Great question, Paisley. It is
Anyway, it can ask
Even
somebody
hotter.
else to do that for you on there.
84 degrees
We're
right
gonna
now.
try
One more time.
It's very
Okay.
hot.
Otherwise, we can.
If it's time for a new printer. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. We can get a. Are you able to use the one back here?
If they want to, I can email it.
You can just email it. That is perfectly
You got your email? We'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about
Thanks.
that.
You can be on your way, Mr. Petty.
No,
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. You have a good rest of your day and enjoy
You
the
too.
sunny weather.
Yeah, at least that. Ms. Henderson, I see you're there. Why don't you unmute?
Okay, can you hear me?
Agultos, why don't you come on up and have a seat wherever you like? Over here would be fine. Sure. Oh, sure.
I'm going to get another bowl.
All right, so Ms. Henderson, let me put you under oath before we get started. Raise your right hand. Ms. Henderson, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, and Mr. Agulto, raising your right hand. Sir, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will.
I will. And Liz as well says that. All right, so we've got everyone under oath. We're here on case number 24196. It's a request by Ms. Henderson for an order against her neighbors, the Agultos, Am I saying your last name correctly?
Agutu.
Agutu.
There's no consonant there. There's T-O.
No L,
No L.
like
No,
drop
no
the L.
consonant.
Okay, got it.
Only in the
Agutu.
American language, English, that is
Agu-
pronounced L.
We throw it in there
Right.
hard. Okay, Aguto. All right, got it. I'll keep working on that. So, I've had an opportunity to, obviously, Ms. Henderson, to review all the information here and the Gutos to all that's been filed with the court. There are a couple of exhibits. Where did that go? You get photos, right? Photos and a statement from Ms. Henderson in the court file. So first off, looks like Aguto, you've received notice of this. You got the petition, you got the notice of the hearing on the 22nd. And you did get a petition and all the information.
We got the police communication.
Okay, all right. So let me jump back to Ms. Henderson. Ms. Henderson, are you still seeking this order against your neighbors?
Sadly, yes.
Okay, and the Agutos, are you objecting to the court issuing an order against you?
Yes. we
Yes.
object.
Okay, all right, then, Ms. Henderson, this is the day for the hearing, and we've got what we've got in the court file. Are you ready for the hearing? You ready to present your
Yes.
information? Okay, so you're not going to be looking for someone else that you don't have there, or some other documents you don't have there. Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, actually,
right.
this is the second time because unfortunately, the first time I misunderstood the court date and missed it, so I had to refile again.
all right. All right, so looking to Francisco Aguto and Liz Aguto, I'm not sure who's going to be our spokesperson, who's
Well,
the lead.
He'll
She'll go
be-
first and then I'll finish it up because
Yeah.
I think this is,
Okay, so
So
I'll
Vubu
start
and,
with Ms. Aguto.
but
All right,
Your Honor.
well, you just told me to talk
Yeah.
to your wife
Hold
first,
on.
should I or not?
I'll just speak briefly, but he's the
Well,
one.
first off, I just want to tell you the ground rules here. If there is some way to resolve this, it's usually not in court. We have something called the Dispute Resolution Center here in
Yeah.
town.
I've tried that. I've tried
Yeah,
that. Mhm.
and you tried it. I think you wrote in your note there that there wasn't, were the Agutos, were you willing to talk with the Dispute Resolution Center to help resolve this?
No, because
No?
I go through that city and the city tells me something.
Mhm.
So they told me to finish up all the administrative processes and procedures.
Are you
And that
suing,
will-
are you suing the city?
No.
No.
Because we
Administrative
don't have
process.
any homeowners association.
Mhm.
So I depend on the law. And
Well.
so
all
I
right.
just,
So you're not willing to talk, have a trained mediator help you solve what your problem is?
we'll
with-
get to there, Your Honor, and
Well, today, that's what I'm saying. We're at trial. This decision is going to be made today, if everyone's
Okay.
ready, about whether there's an order that, with this fence line and neighbors and no contact, and violation of that could be a criminal offense that puts someone in jail. So
no, that's,
today, that's what
I
today's
understand
about.
that. I
So
understand that.
there's another possible route, if the parties are willing, is the Dispute Resolution Center has been working out people's disputes for probably 40 years in this county. And they come to this court at least once a week and help us with our small claims calendar. They go to Superior Court. They help people who are divorcing with their parenting plans. They go around all of Thurston County with neighborhood disputes. And it's a good way to be able to find a way to talk together and get these kind of disputes resolved. And I'm just wondering, it sounds like Ms. Henderson, if I remember in your, let me go back to your statement here that's in your exhibits. Yeah, you contacted Dispute Resolution Center to see if your neighbors would participate. and they couldn't do things till July or August, okay?
Right, but also
So-
they said no. So
So
the go,
turning back to
Gutos-
Francisco and Liz, are you willing to take some time with the Dispute Resolution Center to help you talk with your neighbor about figuring out how to work this out?
Well, Your Honor, if I may say something,
Are you willing to do that or not?
well, because I'm not finished yet with the,
How does that impact having a third party help you talk to your neighbor about the fence line? It sounds like it's pretty simple,
well,
but would it be,
Everyone's getting their guesses in about what they're throwing over the fence. Nobody's got it yet. I'll tell you that.
well, would you be willing to talk to the Dispute Resolution Center?
there are courses that are done by them. I only,
So there's
I
an
will get to
easement,
be
it sounds like
informed of
there's a
in-
dispute about the line of whose property, what property starts and what property ends. Is
well, we
that
went
right?
through
Is there a dispute about where your property ends and where their property ends? Is that
Yes.
this? Okay. And that is not going to get decided today. That is not for this court. If that's a dispute, you have to file that dispute in the Superior Court and they can make those decisions. Or maybe you can get it figured out with the Dispute Resolution Center and make some agreements on
They
your
won't-
own without courts.
May
So
I
that's what
say
I'm,
something?
stop, Miss Henderson. I'm talking
Oh,
to
I'm
the
sorry.
Gutos. I know
Sorry.
it's hard to
I
understand that when
apologize.
you're on Zoom and they're here.
I understand.
All right, so that's what I'm trying to, the threshold here is if you want to find a resolution to this, you can always file your lawsuit in Superior Court about your line, your property line. I'm not going to make any decisions about that. I don't have that authority and I will not be going there. What I'm being asked to do is issue an order between neighbors that share a fence line that says don't contact each other and don't do certain things. The things that you do on your property as well, Ms. Henderson, I can't make that really change. How people use their property is a Superior Court issue. I don't have that authority, so if it's on
May I
their
say
property and they're using it, that's about it. So if you have an argument about their use of their property, that's not for this court. The issue is different. So before we get going, and we can do a trial today, but before we get going, Liz Aguto, is there any willingness to talk with the Dispute Resolution Center's help?
Well, anything to solve this problem, Your Honor, because we have no access, exiting, entering and exiting on our side. They blocked us. So for all these years, we were trying, at one time, in 2016, we tried to sell the house, but the agent stopped us and said that we have to resolve the fence first, because how can they sell our property if that fence is not resolved? It's like we cannot enter or exit from our share property. It's called the land use, the 5 feet. They took the entire, they took our marker where our
So this is
retaining
a
wall.
property dispute. This
It
is.
is.
Yeah, that's turning into a real conflict
But this
potentially.
is all because of that, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's what I divined when I looked through all of
This
this.
is all because of that.
So you need to get that solved potentially, and you can still talk with Dispute Resolution Center, or you can go to Superior Court and file a lawsuit about it if you want.
May I have one more thing?
Sure.
On June 22, the sheriff came to serve us the morning, 9 a.m. in the morning,
Mhm.
to serve us the complaint. At around 3:30, I just happened to be at my microwaving something, when I saw Mrs. Henderson coming, because my dining room window faces their door of their garage faces. And I just so happened that when I was standing there, I saw Mrs. Henderson walking up from their garage right to my property, and she started spraying. I immediately went to my window and I knocked her. I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I am not touching your property," but she was spraying. And I said, "Stop." She continued, even when I told her to stop, she continued going down, further down and continued to spray. I called my husband. So, Your Honor, she said protective order, anti-harassment. Yet on that same day that we were served, she tampered with my property.
Let me hear first from Ms. Henderson. It sounds like we're gonna have a trial today, so if you want to do any work with Dispute Resolution Center, you can do that on the
I will do
side,
that
but if
on-
there's an order of protection, that makes it difficult. And again, this court does not resolve easements, does not resolve property land disputes, can't really make people act nicely to each other either. So I'm just going to hear, is there a basis or not to issue an order under the unlawful harassment laws? So Ms. Henderson, I'll turn to you first, and then I'll turn to the Agutos, and then I'll make that decision today. So Ms. Henderson, I've looked at your petition. Obviously, I've read, looked at the pictures and your statement that you made. And what would you like to add? What would you like to
Okay.
say?
First of all, I would like to say that first I'll apologize for interrupting you. I was going off the previous hearing, and I thought you were going to check in with me, and I got
Don't worry about it.
impatient, so apologize.
It's
So
okay.
what I would like to say is that, so we've had the city out, and I know this isn't about the fence, but and that you can't solve the fence line. I just want you to know that we've had the city out. The city has looked at the markers. They've made the measurements. Our fence is on our property. I mean, if they want to go to court, then they will need to go to court, because we're not going to do that. In the meantime, they have harassed us with banging on drums, loud music, hanging sanitary napkins with fake blood over right above our fence on a holiday when we have company.
And when was this? Help me with timing.
This was on
Janet.
Mother's Day, May 26th.
Okay.
And
Let me get to
excuse me,
your-
On Mother's Day, how weird. This has got to be one of the strangest retaliatory type things that we've seen. So it's a period fence, basically. And lucky for us, we get to see a picture of it later, and they do talk about this. They don't just glaze over this fact, ladies and gentlemen. This becomes serious. It's so weird. Or it's a fence, period. I love you guys. Also, yeah, it sounds delicious, Pete.
on Mother's Day, and then again on Memorial Day weekend, May 26th.
Oh, also, there's still something weird that they throw over the fence. That was what they hung, but there's something weird that they throw as well.
Recent. Last summer, Frank began cutting down the fence. We had to call the police. We called the police on May the 26th, Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, because Frank was yelling so out of control. He was throwing garbage over the fence. He threw garbage at my grandson. There is no talking with them. They do not listen. They talk over us. We have tried over and over again to try to resolve this issue peacefully, but the rage and the anger is frightening on Frank's part. And this is a person that I used to count as a friend. I count Liz as a friend, but they will not listen. They talk over us. And even the police officer said they're very passionate. They will not listen. You're gonna have to go to court to resolve this. The police officer told me to get an anti-harassment because he said clearly there is harassment going on, but we can't do anything without an order. They have placed rotting garbage right next to my shed. What I was spraying that day was I was spraying a pesticide on it because the flies and the maggots and the stench is so bad. So we've worked with the city to get them to remove the garbage, but Frank has told them that it is deterrent because he's smoking something and it's a bird deterrent, but actually it's just rotting garbage. And the stench is so bad, I can't be in my backyard on warm days or when the wind is blowing right. They have a walk with rotting garbage in it. And, you know, I was really just trying to kill the flies because the flies are out of control. It's attracting rodents. And I'm fearful for when he becomes angry. It frightens me because
So they claim that it is, I don't think so, MB, which is a nice positive way to look at it, but unfortunately, as we hear going forward, it's not. It's not a compost heap. It is true. It is like he'll talk about it, but they're trying to run off woodpeckers, something like that, with a stench. But you know what? I've never known birds to avoid smelly things. Birds go through garbage. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, this is a long case, but gonna be worth it for us to watch.
it's as if he's going to come right. He hasn't, but I don't know how it's going to escalate. And it's very upsetting and disconcerting. The reason my husband isn't here is he's out of town for 3 weeks. And so anyway, I don't know. I really don't know what to do. Every person in our neighborhood has a fence. Every single house, there's 13 homes. There are fences between. Frank and Liz, or Liz has gone and talked to our neighbor, and he tried to explain to her on the side where the Hendersons have their garage door, you don't have as much access. Your access is on the other side. But he said that there was no reasoning there. We put up a fence for the purpose of our dog and to keep deer from eating my plants, for no other reason. But the loud banging on drums, the bloody underwear and underwear hanging on above our fence line is very embarrassing when we have company, and very disturbing to me because I care about these people. I care about them.
So when did that happen?
That happened on Mother's Day of this year, 2024.
This year. So things started to pipe up in May of this year.
No,
you're
last
saying,
summer they did
again.
too. When he attempted to cut the fence down, we had to call the police.
Right, that was July of 2023, and then, but you know, a year, almost a year
Ramped up.
passes. So after, all right, so things are starting, and then May was of this year's when the loud drumming, clanging of cymbals, running a weed eater against metal, playing loud music, hanging underwear and on items. So when you say above your fence line, are they on the fence? What are they?
No,
fence
just right above it, suspended right above it in
So
our
there's a
backyard.
clothesline
view.
or something?
No, they took like a big rake and hung bloody sanitary napkins and underwear and bras.
A rake, all right. And so how high
They
is that?
suspended the rake up above the fence so that it was
Okay.
right above the fence on the fence line.
How high is that fence, do you think?
It is 8 feet,
So that would have been, all right,
10 feet
Wow.
up. Yeah, they had
Okay.
it propped up. They have the walk is propped up on chairs and up high as well.
And you can see that from parts of your house?
Yeah, I can see all of it. And the garbage, the rotting garbage is right next to our property.
So these pictures that you took, I presume you took these two pictures that you
Yes.
provided? And when did you take these pictures? Generally,
I took them the day I filed.
okay. And
Would you like to see, I don't know if you can see this, but this is
We normally don't get to see the evidence, but the lady has come through. Look at this fucking nightmare. My God. Hold on. I'm gonna back it up a minute. Or no, I'm gonna hit play and see if it clears up. There we go. There we go. So how strange is this? They've got garden tools, it appears to be, that they've planted these on. It does look fake, the blood or melon juice or whatever we're calling it. But this is weird. This is very weird. Like, I I don't understand what message this gets across. If you have a fence dispute, what does this talk about? Yeah, in this exact one case, we do sort of. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's what it looks like. Barb, we're all just trying to figure it out ourselves here, but this appears to be neighbors. Could you imagine? Mother's Day. You're having a Mother's Day get together at your house and you come outside and your neighbors have done this? God, you'd lose your mind a little bit, wouldn't you? No, and it's not real period blood, but it's the thought that counts. And it's so weird. Right? It's just odd to me. It seems harassing to me. That's what I would say. But I guess you're allowed to put up things on your own property. I don't know. Yeah. Let's keep going.
okay, so it's like, looks like implements
Yeah.
things on, right? So,
Mhm.
so the pictures that you took here, you provide the court here. One has, you're looking at the side of or the corner of a fence line.
That's our
maybe?
fence. That's our fence.
And so
And all
then-
the fences in our property, people have their fences right next to the rock walls. And the lines are all very straight. Our property is 56 foot wide. Theirs is 50 feet wide. The home across from us, it's the exact same dimensions. So the fences, everybody has fences. And so we spoke to their real estate person last summer
Well,
and
let
we
me
showed her.
direct some questions to you because it's kind of all
Okay,
over the
great.
place. This picture is the corner. So the gray is your property and then to the right is the Agutos. And
Mhm.
then the next picture, just trying to load it, is dishes full of what you wrote on here, maggot infested. And I don't
Mhm.
know where are these? I see part of a rock wall and chips.
Yeah,
for the-
so the rock wall is the is right on the property line. And it's sitting right on, they've got wood chips on it. And so it's right there. So it's basically right next to the fence.
Okay, so I see in the other picture that you had here that there's just a small gap, maybe a foot gap between the rock wall. And
Right,
the
we
fence.
actually moved it over.
Tell 'em. All right, and
So we actually placed our fence about 12 inches over from the property line. and at the top, it's more like 6, but we took down, originally he gave us permission to put it on his property. So last summer we removed it down in a good faith effort. We took it off, we reconstructed it down on the other side of the rock wall because he no longer wanted it there. So we did that.
Okay, so then you say that on May 26th, that there was a disagreement, and Mr. Aguto started yelling and spitting and throwing rotting garbage on your property, and your grandson, I guess, came out to see, and then it was still being thrown directly at them. So tell me, so you're on your side of this 8-foot fence,
Mhm.
correct?
Correct.
Okay. And spitting, I don't understand.
I think the spitting was basically not intentional spitting, but just so angry.
How did you see him? If there's this 8-foot fence, you're not over 8 feet tall.
Okay, so there's a opening and the place where you see in the picture, we went outside of our fence on our property, and our neighbor, our guest said, hey, you know, you can't throw property over here. And that's when he kind of went ballistic.
Okay, so throwing, so that's when it, all right. And so what was it that came over on your side of the fence?
Crab shells, little pieces of garbage.
Crab shells, ladies and gentlemen. That's what was thrown over the fence. Crab shells. What a weird humble brag flex. Throwing crab shells over the fence. Holy fuck. This is your reminder that your neighbors aren't that bad for the most part, I bet.
Garbage, what do you mean?
Trash,
Could they buy it, like paper
paper,
Plastic.
trash, crab shells. My husband, he put the garbage down in behind on our property where the fence line is. So my husband just picked it up and set it back on their property. And to let them know, you can't put that down there, that is our property.
or garbage can?
No, a bag of garbage. So they like
Okay.
to put seafood out so that it's really strong smelling. And so that's what they were throwing, is pieces of crab shell and seafood and stuff that was in the bag. Stuff like what you see in the picture.
And when you say that, let's see, get there again. So when you say that, so then your grandson, how old is your grandson?
16.
Okay, so then they come out to see what's going on and see if your husband's okay, Brian's okay, then you say that Mr. Aguto begins throwing garbage at you and at your
correct.
grandson.
Mhm.
So how did you, so it's coming over the fence, how's anyone seeing that he's
Well, my
directing
daughter
it?
videotaped it. So the garbage is
So
coming
how
over the
did you,
fence.
yeah, over the fence, an 8-foot fence, so how do you know?
It's
that he's
coming
directing
over
it?
the 8-foot fence. Like he's
Right,
throwing
but
it.
how do you
Oh,
know
I
he's
had a
directing it
video. I
at you?
should have resubmitted the video.
How do you, what I'm asking is, how do you know his intention is at you rather than just chucking it over the fence, that he's
Because I
directing it
have
at
a
a
video.
person?
We have a video of the whole thing. We have a video on the side of our house, and it
Okay,
shows him.
sorry, we don't need a video. You were there, correct?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, so just tell me, why did you believe that he was intending to hit you or your grandson with this?
Okay, so that's on the outside of the fence. So I'm behind the fence. The door that's going here is open. I'm standing right here, and I can see a piece of garbage come over, and my grandson ducked.
Okay, all right, so I didn't. All right, and then, so the police get involved there and they come over and talk to everybody. Okay. So if the court were to issue this order, what exactly are you trying, what are you trying to solve? What do you want? What do you want to stop?
I want peace in my own backyard. I don't want to have fear that if I go out, I'm going to have banging drums, noises, loud music, intentional on the days we have company. I don't want to smell rotting seafood that is designed to harass us by the placement of it right on the property line. And I just want peace. I just want peace. The dispute resolution people told us they cannot do a thing about the fence, the property line that has to go to Superior Court, but they said they could help us find a way to negotiate peace, to stop this behavior.
Okay. Yeah.
If they were open and willing.
Yeah, all right, so
And
loud
I'd
noises.
also tried talking with their son and asked if perhaps a family member could sit down with us, but nothing happened.
So those loud noises, the bad smells from the rotting carcasses of items, and obviously you don't want garbage thrown over the fence.
Correct.
And, all right. All right, and so this obviously, all right, so your timeline here takes us back a ways to when the fence kind of goes up and then things went south in last summer. Is that about right, last summer?
Yeah, and I could just say one more thing. Last summer, we did talk to their real estate person to help her understand there isn't a property line issue. And we showed her everything. And she agreed that there doesn't appear to be a property line issue at all, because all of the homes in this cul-de-sac are built that we have just this very simple little property line, and there's it looks like this, and there's this.
Okay, I don't want anybody doxing this, but that does look very fucking simple to me. It does not look like a very complicated property line issue, although it is hearsay. But this is not the easement case, as we remember, because district court cannot handle property disputes. It has to be handled in Superior Court in Washington. And so these TPOs, to get around these easement issues, are frustrating, I think, for the judge. And for I mean, they're great for us, but who in the fuck is putting a walk of garbage out, putting crab shells over your fence? I really don't think that it should matter if they were aiming at them or not. Throwing shit over the fence like that is in bad taste. Crab is in good taste. Tossing the shells like that, bad taste.
No,
Yeah, I think we're getting
there's
off.
I just thought of something. They would be better off. Oh, Vince, you said that, and it reminded me we did once have this case. I think it was on KCC 1.0, where there was an AR-15 involved, and it was an easement case or neighbor's case, and the people were pro se. That was a nutty case. Nutty. Anyways, what I was thinking is they would be better off setting up a really stinky composting station so that they could at least say, oh, this is why we're doing it.
On
no
something that really
curvature.
isn't relevant. It's not really relevant to my
But
decisions
what
here.
I'm trying
I
to
have a
say is there's
question
no
for you.
reason for the
I have a
harassment.
question for you in May. When did all this loud, what time of the day was the blaring music and the hanging of the underwear, the metal
It lasts till
drum?
10 o'clock at night, and the underwear stayed up for a couple days.
Okay, and so it started, it was during the day up to 10 PM.
Yep,
Okay.
on that
And
day. And they have stopped
So-
doing the music. The music has stopped because the last judge, when I didn't show up for the hearing, the last judge told me that he told them that it was childish behavior and they needed to stop. So they did stop doing that.
you're saying that All right.
Yeah, the judge, when I came forth to get the temporary position, he said he met with the Agultos. He wanted to know why I wasn't there. And he told me that he told them to stop the childish behavior. So they
Alright,
have
so
stopped that.
is there anything that I'm going to hear from the Agutos that you've done in retaliation that I should hear about?
The one thing that I did was I sprayed pesticide on their garbage right next to on the property line. I did
Okay,
do
how
that.
did you do that? Did you come around your fence in that gap?
No,
between, or
in
did
the
you
back,
go
the
over-
other part, the fence is only on the backyard of the property. Our houses are adjoined in the front. So
Okay.
what that means is our yards are adjoined. What that means is when I come out my garage door, there's a whole open space and our houses are right next to each other. And so
Okay.
I'm on my property, which is up to the rock wall. And I was spraying some other things and I just sprayed the pesticide on the rotting garbage to kill the flies and the maggots.
Okay. All right, anything else before I turn to the Agutos?
No,
Okay, let me turn to the Agutos. I can't have you all at the same time, so somebody start and then I'll turn to the next
Let
person.
her finish first and then I'll come back.
So let me hear from your wife first.
Yeah.
Okay, so Liz Aguto.
Yes, Your Honor,
As to this.
I did, on Mother's Day, I did, we put out loud music. This was during the day, I stopped the music before it be, I would say maybe 5 o'clock.
So that was part of
stopped
your
it.
Mom's
It
Day
was-
celebration, or what was that all about?
Yeah, it was Mother's Day celebration. It was
Okay.
during the day. I did stop it. I did hang up that because, Your Honor, for the longest time, I really felt deprived, from entering and exiting from our side. These people, they claim that even the retaining wall
Is yours.
that came with our house, they're claiming that it's on their property. Even the post where
So let me back you up. So yes, you hung up those, what were you hanging on those garden implements over the fence? What was that?
I'm sorry.
What was it that you hung up on the rakes
Yes,
and so
I
forth?
did.
What was that?
That day I was
Disturbed.
I was disturbed. Yes, Your Honor, that day, because I will just tell you that there are nights when I become sleepless because I have a problem. They have created the wall that they said that they moved from the retaining wall down. They have created a danger. It's a ditch.
I see it in the picture that was supplied.
If a kid, like I was always
Let me
afraid that
back you up again. What was it that you hung up?
I did
Damn it. I messed with it. I was trying to add a picture of it. I want to put the picture up again. Give me a second. I'm going to create frame while that happens. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put it up as the background and I'll take everything off so we can see what they're talking about if you just got here. If you're eating, warning. Warning. Isn't that terrible? That's what they hung over their neighbor's fence. So yeah, They are made to look like used sanitary pads. It's all blurry because it's a screenshot of her holding up a printed picture. So it's the way that it is. But yeah, gotta love it. Can't
And I
get
did,
enough.
yes,
Why did you do that?
huh?
Why did you do that?
To get attention because Your Honor,
Okay.
for the last 9 years, although my husband was trying to resolve this, nothing, everything was so calm. So I decided for some reason that day I needed attention. I needed to get the attention that I am against, or I am very upset with their fence on my side.
Okay.
That
You-
I,
all right.
Your Honor, everything was.
So, and there
coming
were
to me.
red spots on that. Did you put paint on them or something to
It
make
was
them
it
look?
was nail polish.
Okay,
It was
so
nail
you made it
polish.
look offensive.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you knew it would take, someone would take offense.
Attention. Yeah.
All right.
And
And you
Yes,
had to work to get that about 10 to 11 feet up. Well, you're on the rock wall. So
see,
it
Your
went
Honor,
up pretty
this
high.
is a slope. Where the house
Yeah.
is the slope. So we have a retaining wall that came with the houses, and I was really upset by this time
Yeah.
because I couldn't sell my house when I tried. And the agent that they were referring, I did contacted them, about we're still trying to resolve the fence problem. And so again, the thing that upsets me is that I cannot invite friends with young children or friends with grandchildren to come to the house because of fear that somebody could get injured, because it's a ditch, Your Honor. It's like 3 feet deep because there's a gap.
Yep. I
And-
see
and-
that in the
and-
picture.
And here, these people are going to have a party. And here, I cannot even do anything. I cannot even invite friends over for fear that somebody's going to get injured in that
So
area.
let me ask you about these allegations from Ms. Henderson, also about, and there are these pictures that you may have looked at as well, about dishes of, looks like meat of some nature out in the sun, and she's alleging that it has maggots and flies. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. Because when my husband tried to make a complaint with the city, the part of I think the suggestion is show
Hostility.
hostility,
Oppose.
show opposition. So the only opposition I thought of is if I get those, whenever they come and leave, they will be reminded that I want them to remember that I am opposing that fence. I needed attention. I needed them to not to forget. That want them to get their fence off our side of the property.
Okay. All right, so that's what that was about. And
So-
this raised walk, I don't understand what that's about. Is there
Did
such
you-
a thing?
The walk. I'm
What
sorry.
is that about? There's an allegation of seafood in a walk that's raised
He
high
will
with a
answer that, Your
ladder.
Honor.
Okay, can you tell me about that? And before you do
Yes,
that,
Your Honor, and I'm so glad that
1 second. Can I have the packet so I can look at them?
1 fucking second is right, Judge. Guys, this is insane. I think it's hilarious, and Paul, you're making me laugh so hard. But in reality, this is not acceptable behavior. This is out of fucking control. Again, humble brag flexing by throwing seafood shells, right? It's not like they're tossing canned beans over the fence or whatever. Also, wouldn't you think birds would be attracted to seafood? Right?
I just want one packet. Okay,
It's the whole packet.
got it. All right, so back to you, Mr. Aguto. So this walk raised with a high ladder above the fence with seafood in it, what's that about? Did that happen?
They have been harassing us for years.
Tell me about the seafood, this
Yes.
allegation of this walk. Tell me
What
what
they
that
do-
is. I'm asking you, what,
Yes,
does
the-
that happen?
they
or
have
not?
Invited birds into the rear side, the rear yard of their place. And part of
So
our
again,
house-
Mr. Aguto, I want you to answer my question directly. Was there a raised walk was there
Yes,
not?
yes, yes,
Okay, and
because-
so what was that about? What, did you do that? Did somebody else do
Yes,
that?
yes, because I do what is sensible, because I was asking down at the state environmental protection.
Okay, well, to be fair, I live on an island and we have a lot of seagulls. So my experience with birds has been mostly seagulls.
And I was asking if I can use poison to kill the birds that they invited, because they put bird feeders.
Okay,
And the bird feeder is not just 2 inches, they're about 8 feet, maybe 9 feet, maybe higher than that.
okay,
So the birds go there. But when the birds were there, actually the birds were inside the woods, the wooden area.
Mhm.
And the neighbor that had this big tree, and they cut it off, but there was a bird, very nuisance bird, it's called woodpecker.
Mhm.
This is a woodpecker that has, and they can bore into a,
What does this have to do with the walk? Get me back to the walk.
yes,
Okay.
and there's so many birds, and they're going into my roof.
Okay, all
And
right,
that's the reason that I have to apply natural bird deterrent.
okay,
And
And-
Your Honor, I have to apologize because English is my second language.
okay.
So if I use the word deterrent, that's what to make the bird fly away, so that I don't use gun or air rifle to expire the birds. These are birds.
And
So that's the
so,
main reason why we have that deterrent. And I went and I met a person, an elder, out of Nisqually, Indian. And I was asking, what kind of poison do you use in your reservation area to kill? No, don't.
What kind of potion used to kill birds, sir? Either he's saying potion or poison, and either or are not really okay. You don't get to just kill woodpeckers because they bother you. I get that birds can create a real nuisance, but you can't be killing them. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Mr. Pole's got it.
Because if you do that, they're gonna arrest you. So I'm afraid. So I said, what kind of natural? Do you eat crab? Yes. Do you eat salmon? Yes, I fish them. And that is the bird smells. The bird doesn't like the smell. So the bird flies away. Not yet at this time, there's no birds there. Why? Because of the deterrent that I applied, whether they like it or not. Unfortunate. But Your Honor, we come from an island and we have not just 3 birds or 3 chickens, we got 200 chickens. There's so
Yeah.
many. So the smell is natural to us, to me,
Okay,
because I raise them and I go out and take the fattest hen and I'll cook it and eat it.
Mhm.
Those crabs, I was told, is natural. It's not poisonous. The birds don't like it. So right now, since I put it, there's no birds.
So the worry is birds getting into your attic.
They go and they make nests, and and my son has to climb that and remove but they hatch and they fly away.
Yeah.
But
and
now
they're
they don't come back.
in your attic,
And there's called a east.
under the eaves.
Yeah, and then there's opening,
Yep, little
and then
opening.
there's
And so you,
birds go in there.
you didn't.
And there's also
yeah, you didn't think about covering that opening and have.
no, I cannot, because I'm going to affect the marketability of the house that we have.
Covering the opening to
Oh,
your
there's so many,
view?
because right outside that is facing them, there is a protrusion of a fireplace, and it goes up maybe about 3 feet from the foundation line to outside. And then there's a eaves that makes it more than 3 feet. So according to the city, the foundation line has moved. It might be imaginary, but it is not. It is by law.
So
And-
let me talk about.
And
May
that was
20
that was
Let me
the
talk
issue.
about May 26th and the allegation that the Hendersons were out on their side of the fence barbecuing. And then all of a sudden there's garbage coming over the fence and people are coming out to see, and there's garbage coming over the fence. Can you tell me, did that happen?
No, because we have the sign. We have a sign, private property, do not get into our private property.
Okay,
And that's we put down. And what they did is someone grabbed word is craft sales, took it and threw it back to us. That's what happened.
so what,
There is-
one more time, tell me what happened?
There is in a bag where we have the container, and this thing, somebody took it.
Yep.
It didn't fly by itself. Someone took it and threw it inside and when I got it, I took a piece of paper and I threw it back.
Okay.
Because they, by law, and I asked the people in.
So where did this item come from? You have no idea where this
No,
bag came from?
it was the bird deterrent that we,
Okay, so it
it's
was
a
there.
bird
So
deterrent.
someone came over, grabbed it up
someone
and
grabbed it
threw it
and threw it back to us.
back in your property, and then you picked it up and threw it over the fence.
No, not the whole thing. That's
Parts of it.
just maybe
Okay, why did you do that?
because they're not supposed to do that. They're
Chris Engleby, your birthday's this week, my friend. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. And also thank you to MB. Miss MB, I saw something in the PP, so thank you. You are so sweet. Single-handedly buying me groceries at the moment. I really love you guys. Thank you so much. And happy early birthday to Christopher Engleby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a crazy case. Oh my God, it's nuts. It's nuts. I have a pee-pee. Yes, ma'am.
trespassing on I started to ask people because I'm kind of like a lay person. Then what is trespassing?
Yeah.
They did.
So they did it and you did it.
Yeah.
Did anything else happen? You just tossed one thing over? Was there
That's it.
more? Nothing more?
Because what our purpose is to draw attention, and I'm so glad that now.
One more person coming to members only, but that person, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much. It is so hot. Oh my God. Unhinged is the word. It is unhinged. Unhinged. I mean, the imagery, I could make a video out of this one very easily. The amount of clips I can put in of birds and fucking, oh, so much. So much. But it's long. That's the only thing. And I've now seen it. Ugh.
She is saying that there is a camera that they mounted on the wall, and that's how they have a streaming of images from the camera.
So can I ask you about this drawing attention? We're now in court
Yeah.
and you're maybe being subjected to an order that could put you in jail if you violate it. Is that the
No, no, no,
attention that
no,
you're
no, because,
seeking?
we're just trying to pay attention because we want to really get honesty.
Well, once you get the attention, what do you want to do with it?
Because now, this 3 minutes ago, that we found out that there is a camera.
Let's back up from that. You're both of you saying that you're doing this to get attention, knowing that it's going to be offensive.
To resurface.
And then what are you going to do once you have their attention?
Because there are so many other things that are there
Okay.
now.
What do you want to do with their attention? What do you want to tell them? What is it?
Because this is the camera, that is one of the worst harassment that they do, because now my privacy is zero. Because the camera is aimed over to to the window of my house. And I cannot do anything. I cannot even talk to her and laugh. Cannot.
So once you get your neighbor's attention, do you want to discuss things with them? What do you want to do?
Yes, of course, because
Oh, I clicked the wrong button, Sashina. I was trying to unmute it and I fucking clicked it away. We'll find it here shortly. I don't know that I'll use a screaming goat. I think that gimmick's already been taken, if I'm not mistaken. For some bacon. Also, Courtney, did you send a PP? You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Do. And Chris says he needs clarity, don't we all? There was a very loud noise from outside my house there. Somebody sneezing like violently. Did I miss anything? I think I did. Almost. Sorry, he's got the attention. That's right. And who said that he wanted to be on KCC? Could you imagine if somebody wanted to do that? Just talk to me. You can come on KCC without having to go to court, sir. You don't need to do that. Oh, K Crimson back. Did somebody say bacon? Oh, Courtney, I love you. Oh, you know me so well. Dessert at the groceries. I love you guys. You're amazing. This is seriously just a nightmare. A nightmare. Oh God, imagine if a night bear showed up. One day you can come on. I'm better at hosting people now. Oh, I'm literally melting at this moment. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I fucked it up. That's right. Where were we?
It might be imaginary, but it is not. It is by law.
So let me talk about
And
May
that was
20
that was
let me
the
talk
issue
about May 26th and the allegation that the Hendersons threw out on their side of the fence barbecuing. And then all of a sudden there's garbage coming over the fence and people are coming out to see and there's garbage coming over the fence. Can you tell me, did that happen?
No, because we have the sign. We have a sign, private property, do not.
Maybe actually, we got to go a little bit further.
Camera.
So
The camera has.
I can't
taken
answer that.
away.
You
Okay,
haven't
okay.
filed anything.
Okay.
So what you're telling me,
Love you, Chris. Thank you so much. Yes, I think that this is where we are better. I think I'm going to back it up like 1 minute. right here. Right? Like it's sort of bizarre. I don't understand what culture it would be. Like I live in a place where there's lots of Asian cultures, lots of Asian people. I lived with Vietnamese people for a long time. Like this is not standard. You don't see period fences, you don't see people leaving garbage and like fish and shit outside to scare away birds. But again, I live on an island, so the freaking, you know, the seagulls, they come for garbage, so you can't. Hey Jinx, thanks for being here. It's been quite the day. Let's see, let's continue and finish this up. Whew. Whew. Are they, I don't know where they were. You think it's an American thing? Rural Japan or Korea, maybe? I don't know.
That's it.
And when was that, do you think? Was that last year?
That was
that
a
this
day
year?
after she filed this thing, or maybe a day
Okay,
before.
so let's talk, and were
Oh,
you
the-
able to, so once you have their attention, then you're talking about some of the things that you don't like on each side. Is that
Yes,
the
because
plan?
those are, because I spoke to the husband and I said, Brian, let's sit down and talk this thing over.
Okay,
If we have to negotiate, then we negotiate.
okay,
My first impression when she came to the house, knock on the door, I was thinking that the first thing to do is set up a procedure of talking.
that would be the dispute resolution center. That's the procedure of talking.
Just the two of us, and I will
Well,
tell them all these things
Wait.
that.
yeah, your list of
And then-
disputes, okay.
So
Hmm.
let's the camera.
So
The camera has.
I can't
taken
answer that.
away-
You haven't
okay, okay.
filed anything.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is you want to talk, and that's good. If I sign this order, nobody gets to talk at all. You don't have contact with each other. If
But-
you do, the cops get called and you go to the jail. If I sign this order, so
That's why I asked that the city said, if I bring these issues, because they told me, if you see, say it.
Mhm.
If you see something, say something.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm doing.
right. So and if
So if they call the. cops,
Yeah, and if your neighbors are willing to talk to you, just the two of you, that's great. But if you need help with that, that's what the Dispute Resolution Center does. They help neighbors talk about your list of problems.
Okay, that's just one,
Yeah.
but there are 5 of them.
Yeah,
If
you haven't filed your own
you
order.
bring
I'm
the-
just
the-
dealing with this. I'm not gonna go off on
Because
tangents.
this is something that is.
It's not relevant to Ms. Henderson's.
Right.
You haven't
but there
filed your own
is-
petition.
There
so
is what is called deed of trust.
I'm not gonna hear about it, Mr.
Okay.
Aguto.
Oh, but
I
that's
cannot
the-
help you with your dispute over
Be-
easements.
because they
or
have been
over lines.
harassing me.
Stop interrupting me, Mr. Aguto. Stop it.
I'm sorry.
All right. I'm allowed to interrupt you to try and focus you and get information, but you need to listen and answer the questions directly. And I've told you, district court is not the place that can
Okay, fine.
fix the dispute about whose property is who. I don't have the power to do that. You're in the wrong place if that's the issue. I'm also not going to take up your list of complaints against the Hendersons. All I have before me is Ms. Henderson's request to issue this order that would stop any discussion. And frankly, from what I'm hearing here. So is there anything else, Mr. Aguto, about this petition, about these allegations that you want to talk to me about?
If I'm, Your Honor, I just motion, I send a motion to you and to dismiss what she's saying.
Mhm.
Because she and the husband has been harassing us for more than 8 years. And the only thing that we have is our body to go into the house. And this key we got almost 20 years.
And what's that key?
Turnkey. We haven't changed this.
Key to the Henderson's house?
No,
No.
key to my house,
Key to your house?
our house.
Okay.
And this key is the only thing that we got. And we have a lender. I'm a truster. Somebody is a trustee. So we'll leave that alone. And I am glad that
You're
you
still
say that.
living in,
Yes.
you're still living at 1326 Verona.
Right.
Okay, all
And
right,
this is the key that makes us 1326.
right,
This key.
okay.
Since
Let me turn to your
19
wife
years
and
ago.
see if there's anything more that she wanted to say here. Ms. Aguto.
Your Honor, the only thing actually that that this thing arises is because of that fence. It's all because of that fence. And I know Mrs. Henderson is complaining about the order. I want her to understand too that there are sleepless nights because of the inconvenience of the situation that they have caused us at the moment. Like I said, we are not at liberty to sell our house. We're not at liberty even to rent or lease out our house because of that danger thing that they put on our property. And then I am not at liberty to invite friends over, for a barbecue. So just within last month, I thought I was undergoing through what was that? What was that? I forgot. I'm sorry. I had to go for email because what was I thought?
she has a murmur.
No, it's
So you had to have a medical procedure?
yes. Well, until just the month of June, I had to go because there are nights when I'm sleepless, and because of the sleepless night, I thought I was having an attack. I forgot the term. I went to Kaiser, and it's all because of the stress that I'm undergoing. And if she thinks that because of that smell, she should consider to what I'm going through, Your Honor. I'm going through sleepless night because I am trying to resolve this fence problem, and I want to be at liberty that when I'm ready to sell my house, that I should sell my house and not have to undergo all these.
Well, would you agree that
Your Honor,
what you say you did is hanging up those items that with nail polish on them, that was offensive, and you agree that the rotting food was also, you knew that was going to cause some pretty substantial distress, and you agree that those things shouldn't have done that, correct? Because you said you were somehow distressed and did those things knowing that it was going to cause a bad reaction from them. So you know that that's not the way to solve it, right?
well,
Right?
I,
Do you agree?
well, I agree that that kind of action actually for me it is uncalled for. Yes, I do.
Okay.
But like I said, at that moment it just
Yep, that moment. But you gotta
but it
get
was
past
just one
those.
time when I hung that up, and it was just like an overnight, took it down and never did go back. And like I said, for that thing, yes, Your Honor, I when I placed it there, I want them to remember that that I am not happy with their fence on our side of the
Right,
property.
so what are
And not
your
only that-
solutions rather than doing that? Obviously, there are other solutions, and one of them is to talk to each other civilized, and if you can't do it, then maybe get a mediator involved and talk in a civilized manner. If that doesn't work, then you might be left with having to file a lawsuit and have a Superior Court judge decide your property line. But all of this other doings, throwing garbage back and forth, and, I look at the Hendersons too, setting out rotting food to create great stench, to hang offensive undergarments, so it causes offense on the other side. I mean, that doesn't get us anywhere. It just gets us into court with it not in the right court and not getting any solution. Do you agree? There's no solution. done here. You're still in dispute over that fence line, no matter what happens here, correct? You're still in dispute and the fence line decision hasn't been made. So this hasn't worked. It's just caused you inconvenience and pain and torture, right?
I got the word anxiety. I thought I had the anxiety
Yeah,
attack.
yeah, you're getting
That's
more
what
anxiety because
that's
you're
what
coming to court.
that's the word. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And maybe because you haven't resolved this issue in the proper way, rather than frankly,
Your Honor,
doing silly things to get attention.
I know last year my husband, at least from what he told me, that he was trying to talk to Brian,
Mhm.
but the only resolution that Brian told him is sue me.
That may be what you have to do. You
No,
know,
yeah,
maybe
but
he's told you what he wants. Or sounds like they might be interested in the Dispute Resolution Center helping you talk. And you can, or not, it's all up to you. It's not up to this court. But Ms. Henderson, is there, before I close this out, your petition that you filed this time included everything that you filed before?
Okay, so just before they give their closing arguments and the judge makes her rulings, I want to show one last time the period fence. Give me 1 second. This is fake, by the way, so there's no juice to be taken down, YouTube daddy. The spots are admitted nail polish. The technical application of this technique, I believe, was executed properly. But this is just, honestly, I don't know what is going on in this case. If this was a different judge, I think that this would go differently. I have a feeling that this judge, I don't know, maybe it's it does look like a freaking art installation. Okay, one last look and then we'll finish up. Get your guesses in the chat. Do you think that this is going to be granted for Miss Henderson, or do you think that this is going to be denied? Granted or denied, put it in the chat. Take another look at the period fence. All right, everyone's making their guesses. Let's go ahead and get on with it. Was that granted? Issue denied, granted. That's true. Okay, let's get going.
Right?
No, I didn't include this video right here.
Did you include that? I'm not going to watch a video on Zoom.
Well,
Put
it
that-
shows Mr. I have
You tell-
proof. I have proof showing Mr. Guto throwing numerous amounts of garbage over the fence. That was dishonest.
Okay.
Secondly, we did not throw anything on their property. We picked up a bag of garbage and set it on right behind the rock wall from our own property. We have never trespassed on their property. And thirdly, we have asked the Agutos to split the cost of a new, we've asked them to split the cost of having a resurvey done. They said no. We've tried
that's not
every
for me
way
to
we can.
determine here.
I understand that, but I want you
Yeah.
to know, we have not harassed them in any
Yeah.
way. We have
I'm not seeing
purposely
that.
stayed
Yeah, I'm
calm.
not seeing
as
either
we can.
side. Yeah. I don't see that. I don't see that you've committed unlawful harassment at this stage. The
And we care
Agutos-
about them. We care about
Yeah.
them, and this is very distressing.
I hear that.
actually,
Let me just, okay, maybe
bothers
I
me.
should just tell you, I'm ruling now, so I'm gonna ask everyone
All
to,
right,
hold their peace, and that's all right. It's difficult on Zoom to kind of
I'm
communicate.
sorry.
That's no sorry needed. You're
Your Honor,
fine.
can I just say one?
No,
please?
I'm gonna rule about
Thank you,
this.
thank you,
So I
anyway.
don't find that either side is committing unlawful harassment. Now, the things that you're doing, and we've talked about it, and I think Ms. Aguto has kind of taken ownership of the silly and ridiculous behavior of hanging things up that look offensive and the rotting food. Just knock it off is all I can say. Now, unfortunately, this law, unlawful harassment is, and if I were to sign an order, people go to jail if there's a violation, and I can't stop, obnoxious and rude behavior. That's what it is. It's obnoxious and rude and overbearing. But this law doesn't let me stop that. Unfortunately, everybody would have an order against everybody almost, because at times we're all rude, obnoxious, and overbearing. But I have to find, was there this intention to commit unlawful harassment, a specific course of conduct directed at person causing substantial emotional distress with the intent to cause substantial emotional distress that doesn't serve any lawful or legitimate purpose. And what I'm seeing is kind of a little bit of back and forth. We've gotten some admissions from the Agutos that some of the things being done are wrong and they shouldn't do them anymore. This is not a good way to get attention. The way to get attention is to talk to each other. And if you're told, no, just sue me, well, then I guess you decide if that's the way to go. But the attention you're getting, the response is bad. You're ending up in court here, and that's not working. So, but I don't see that it amounts to unlawful harassment. It's bad neighbors. So I'm going to have to deny this request for an order. That's the end of the hearing. And
Thank you.
just, I hope you find a way to talk about this fence line issue. But again, if it's about that, then you need to go take that to the court that can solve that problem, because I can't do that here. So I'm going to write up an order basically that says no further hearing and no order. So that's it for today. I hope you can find a way to talk. And remember, Dispute Resolution Center is very helpful. We can give you information. So Ms. Henderson, you can say, or you can go, this order will be in the court file. You can also contact my clerks if you wanted a copy, but it's available to you. And I'll probably be giving just a copy to the Agutos since they're here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so long.
I have to say I somewhat disagreed with this ruling. I thought there was a clear pattern of
Yeah, we can go up
harassment
there.
intended to harass. They admitted it. Even if it was cultural or whatnot, I'm surprised that this case went the way it did. One last look at the period fence before we say goodbye. Don't I wish I knew how to add that on top of me instead of behind me. That sounded bad. Anyways, I hope that you guys had a wonderful evening. It is so hot here. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. This was a great night, and I hope that if you rotting shell food is not harassment. We've learned, Loud. We've learned. Yeah. How hot is it? It's very hot. It's like 84 degrees, 85 degrees, I think. It is exceptionally hot to me. And we don't have air conditioning, remember. I felt like I don't think the judge got that one right. I don't often disagree with the judges. I can find why they come to whatever they come to. But this one, I have to say I disagree. But anyways, reminder, I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Please hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye. that'll get you on KCC, Cellulite Yoga Pants. I would love to interview you about that art project inspired by a crazy case. Have fun, Allie. I might go to Walmart and get me a dessert and eat it. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.